So you want faster fingers like this? Well, I'll tell you for sure, doing little finger curls and trying to strengthen and work out your fingers is not the way that you're going to get there. In this video, I'll explain what actually helps when it comes to finger speed. My name is Josh Gu, and I'm taking my years of experience learning, teaching, and performing, and sharing all of my best clarinet and music tips so you can get more out of your practice, and most importantly, have fun. You can learn more about all of my many resources at QuickStartClarinet.com, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Before we get into the video, I just really quickly want to tell you about the next generation clarinet method. If you like the information in this video and sort of my teaching style from this, then you will love the next generation clarinet method, and it will unpack a whole plethora of things, not just finger speed and technique, but also sound quality, how to articulate well, getting down the sort of different fundamentals of playing the clarinet and fundamentals of music as well. Things like rhythm, notes, style, all of that kind of good stuff that really makes for great musical performances. And right now you can actually test drive the next generation clarinet method completely for free by going to quickstartclarinet.com/test drive. In there, I've pulled out a couple of the key components for clarinet playing, and I take the core 3 key things that make the biggest fundamental difference on the instrument and laid that out in a way that works exactly the same as the full program works, so that you have a timeline, you have specific things to work on, and you can test out what it feels like to go through the program and not just have a method book where you play the exercises and hope that you get better, but actually have a plan for what exercises to play, what you should be getting out of them, and videos of me demonstrating and explaining and teaching how to get the most out of every exercise. So if that sounds interesting to you, go to quickstartclarinet.com/test drive, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video talking about faster fingers. When it comes to playing faster on the clarinet, I think a lot of people have this misconception. It's a really common misconception that you need to build strength in your fingers or sort of get better fingers, or maybe some people start to think about better finger coordination, which I think is much, much more on the right path than necessarily stronger fingers. But I think a lot of people don't fully understand how to actually play faster and what actually needs to happen in your fingers and in your brain to be able to play as quickly as you possibly can. And yes, slow practice and practicing with the metronome is fantastic, and absolutely to some extent it is just a matter of time and a matter of practice and getting in more repetitions. However, there's ways to get in the repetitions, and there's ways to intelligently and deliberately take time so that it gets so much better so much quicker. So to start, I want to talk about my fairly limited understanding of neuroscience and the neuroscience behind speed in anything that we do. So when it comes to playing the clarinet and playing fast, what it is a very quickly coordinated finger motion. So like if we're playing from G to C, you have to lift those 3 fingers. That's the coordination that needs to happen. So what happens in the brain to be able to get that to go faster is you do that neural network where your brain says, play G to C, the neurons fire, it goes down your nerve system into the fingers, and the nerves fire and the muscles fire, and those 3 fingers go up. So that's what's happening. But how do we make that faster? The really cool neuroscience behind it is that our brain automatically has a system to become more fast and efficient at things. It's super important for our survival and our ability to learn, to be able to do an activity and then get better at doing it. The way that works in the human brain is through a process called myelination. Basically what myelination is where your body deposits fat along those nerve circuitry to sort of insulate it, which then makes it go faster because there's less interference from things going on around it. So the way our body myelinates and the way our body knows to myelinate certain neural networks is purely by it firing. And that's why repetition is so important for learning something and for becoming fast at something. So unfortunately, there's no like magic trick here to just overnight be faster, except for one that we'll talk about later. But it really is just a matter of doing the repetitions and then taking the time to sort of myelinate those neural pathways and those neural networks and get your nerves to function more efficiently. And again, a really important point about this is that it's all happening subconsciously. None of you have ever said, okay, brain, I want you to myelinate this process as much as you possibly can. You did it once, and then your brain went to work myelinating it. We don't have conscious control over it. Maybe someday, that would be really crazy if we had computers or our brains just developed eventually to be able to control that. That would be absolutely wild. But as of now, it's just a matter of doing it. And that's where all of that classic advice of just do it with the metronome, do more repetitions comes from. And honestly, doing repetitions will fire that neural network and it'll get myelinated and you'll be able to do it faster. However, like I was saying, it's not a conscious process and our brain will just myelinate whatever's happening. So if you're doing repetitions at full speed and making mistakes, you're getting better at making that mistake. And you'll get faster and more efficient and more effective at making that mistake because the myelinating systems don't know what's good and what's not good. It only knows to myelinate whatever is happening and whatever neural network is firing. So that's why it's so super duper important to do it correctly and feel really confident and comfortable and in control as you're doing it, which may mean going half speed, a third of the speed, however slow you need to go to feel really confident, really in control, and know for sure that you're getting down exactly how you want it to come out. Now, there's another angle to this as well that I think people often miss, and that's that we're not just trying to get the notes to come out well, but we're also trying to get the finger coordination to come out well. What will often happen when we're speeding up a passage like the Lincolnshire Posy bit that I played in the intro to this video is we'll be doing it and we'll do it slow and we feel like we got it and we're in control and we're feeling confident with it, and then we start bumping up the metronome and then we hit sort of a speed ceiling where it starts to fall apart. Then we just bang our head against the wall at that speed ceiling being like, oh, I should be able to get it. Sometimes we go back slower and we're able to get it again slower. Then we bump up the tempo really fast and then bang our heads against the wall at the speed ceiling again. Still not really getting it. The reason why is because there's something in the finger movement that's not going efficiently enough. That's what a speed ceiling always is it's either you're not comprehending the notes fast enough, so you're just hoping for the best, your finger motion is not minimal enough or not precise enough, or there's some coordination issue that's getting in the way and throwing you off. It could also be tension, where you're not relaxed enough, and as you get more and more tense, the harder it is to move, and then you're actually pushing against yourself and not able to do the motion that you want. Or the last one could be a bit of fast note freakout as well, where you stop actually trying to play the notes in a controlled and confident way, and you start thinking, play as fast as you can, throw your fingers at it, and hope for the best. So whenever you hit that speed ceiling where you've been gradually increasing it with the metronome, and you find that point where you're no longer able to play it clean and in control, I want you to pause, stop, reflect, and ask, what is going on? Why am I not able to play it this fast? It's not just because you can't. It's not just because your fingers aren't strong enough and you need to do more finger curls and finger exercises to build up strength in your muscles. It's not a strength issue, it's a coordination issue. So go back to your slow speed and reflect. What in the coordination might be causing problems? Another great thing that you can do is videotape yourself playing fast at that sort of speed ceiling tempo, and then slow down the video and look at how your fingers are moving. Then you could even compare that to a video of you doing it at a slow, comfortable speed and see the difference. Probably what happened is you hit a point where you got uncomfortable with the speed, you started freaking out a little bit, and you change something about your physiology to try to push faster. And that's where you're always going to hit a ceiling every time, is when you're pushing the fingers harder, when you're pushing the tempo faster and just thinking play as fast as I can. Those are the things that are going to be that barrier where you're no longer in control, you're no longer coordinating properly, and you can't go as fast as you want or as fast as that speed that you're trying for. So what do we do instead? This is where that tip I mentioned earlier of the magic trick for getting better overnight comes in. And it's not a trick at all. It's actually sleeping and making sure that you're sleeping on the good stuff. Remember when I was talking about the neuroscience and our neural network just myelinates whatever it's doing? If you take your first day of practice on something, you go slow to sort of figure the notes out, and then you pretty quickly bump up the metronome to where you're at your speed ceiling and you're like, oh, this is still 20 clicks under tempo. I gotta push harder and get it faster. And then you stop there because you get frustrated and give up with it. Then you sleep on that. Your brain is myelinating and getting more efficient at playing the right notes at first, and then many more repetitions of frustration and banging your head against the wall, trying to do it right, but not actually getting the coordination down really well. Then you do that for a few weeks and you get a little bit better at it just because you are running that pattern over and over and repeating it, but not a lot better. And that's where most people get and how most people practice their fast stuff. The alternative that's much more effective is on your first day of learning a fast passage. It's great that you know the music, it's great that you know it's going to be super fast and you need to be able to coordinate well and play it at a fast tempo. But the first day doesn't need to be at a fast tempo. The first day needs to be calm, steady, controlled, relaxed, confident, great finger coordination, focusing on really moving the fingers in a good relaxed hand position, just really steady, really confident and easy. Then you sleep on that, and now every repetition you've done that day has been good, in control, relaxed, easy, all that good stuff with perfect coordination, and you start myelinating that neural network of perfect coordination. Then you'll wake up the next day and be able to do it so much more comfortably at the tempo you were going, and you'll be able to get it comfortable at even faster tempos than you were before. However, still only on day 2, you need to still be doing it far from your speed ceiling. It's okay every now and then to just get a feel for where you're at and try doing it fast. And when you try it once or twice doing it fast, you might notice some things that crop up like, oh, my ring finger is starting to get a little tense as I'm trying to push the tempo up. So as I go back to a really comfortable, easy speed, I'm going to really focus on keeping that relaxed. And then again, you're already preempting the future issues and again, myelinating the good process exactly how you want it to go. So that second day, you can go faster. It feels easy, but you're still only ever going to go as fast as you can with it feeling comfortable, easy, in control, relaxed, all that good stuff. Then you're going to sleep on it, and your brain's going to get to work myelinating it and becoming more efficient at really in control, really good, confident, relaxed, all that good stuff. Next day, same thing. Next day, same thing. And you're just going to keep doing that process. And trust that over time, if you're practicing in control and confident 98% of your repetitions, then it's going to eventually become more efficient and your brain's going to catch up and it's going to understand that this is a finger pattern that you want to do. And you're going to program your subconscious to be relaxed, in control, confident, and all that good stuff. So I'm sorry I didn't have any magic formula or magic trick that's going to make a night and day difference in one sitting, but this really truly is the way. There's all kinds of good tricks that will help you bump up the tempo a little bit, doing your practice rhythms and things like that, help your brain to think about it, and doing those kinds of different encoding layer ideas where you look at it from different angles is all great because it makes your brain focus on it a little bit more. It builds up a more complex neural network that is all getting more efficient and more effective in this process of what you're trying to do. But those are all just bonuses. Really, the foundation is doing it right in a coordinated way, not in a strong way, not in a fast way, in a coordinated way, going slow with great flow to it. That's what's going to make the difference. And just allowing your brain and giving your brain the rest it needs, the nutrition it needs to myelinate that and get that neural network to be more effective and more efficient. So let me know in the comments how this goes for you. I wonder if this is a little bit of a different approach for you. I will warn you that it takes a great deal of patience to stay away from that speed ceiling, especially on the third or fourth day where you really feel like you're getting into the zone and you can really push it. You'll push it, and then you'll become less efficient with your learning as you go. So let me know in the comments how this goes for you. I encourage you all to be patient with the process. I encourage you to stay relaxed, stay in control, deliberately get every single note as you're going nice and steady. And I promise the speed will come with time and with repetitions of doing that. So thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions about this in the comments as well, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. And last but not least, a huge heartfelt thank you to the Dennersons. This is like the QuickStart Clarinet family who supports the channel and helps to make everything that I do possible. If you would like to support the channel and get some awesome rewards in return where we can work one-on-one over video and you can have my full support moving forward on your clarinet journey, then go to quickstartclarinet.com/supporter.